What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Essence of Lex. Thank you for joining me again on my Bloom journey. And if you clicked on this video, it's because you're interested in my review and my recap of Zatima Season 2, Episode 6, called Too Close for Comfort. We're just going to jump right into it. This is a disclaimer. And the disclaimer is, just a heads up that, it might seem as if I'm coming down hard on Zach, but I am still riding for Zach. I am still rooting for Zach. The past couple episodes just haven't shown Zach in the best of light. So we started off with Fatima, Angela, and Sean. So they are sitting outside in the car in front of Angela's place. And Angela basically said, well, maybe we should drop Fatima off first. Fatima basically tell her, no, I'm not letting you allow some strange man into your house and you are also drunk as well. No. Angela didn't even know Sean's last name. So Fatima stayed firm in her approach and not letting, them drop her off first and allowing Sean to go inside Angela's house. Sean said, you don't trust me to go in the house with her, but you trust me to take you home. He must not know who Fatima be. First of all, Fatima told him, 1, I got a gun, and 2, I got a man. Angela is single and don't nobody stay with her, and she stay by herself and she don't have a man. So yes, I will prefer it the way that it went. Now, I said in my last review and recap that I'll go into, Fatima getting in the car with Angela and Sean a tad bit more this review. So let's go ahead and get into it. It is very clear. At least I thought it was, and at least it is very clear to me. And I thought it would be very clear to just about everybody, but I've saw some differences of opinions. But it is very clear to me that Fatima got in that car because of Angela. She was looking out for Angela. Angela don't know this man at all. She's clearly under the influence of alcohol. And pretty much girl code. If we come together, we leave together. We're going to make sure the both of us get home safely. Fatima was drinking, but I think she's way more sober than Angela was. Could Fatima just got in the ride share and let Angela go with Sean? To some, that may have been an option. To me, that's not an option. Fatima did the right thing. I'm making sure my friend, sister, or whoever I came with get home safely, period. So Fatima watched Angela go in the house. Well, actually, Fatima watched Angela go in the house and fall. So Angela don't have quite a few drinks. Angela is up through there. Nonetheless, she got in the house safely. So Fatima told Sean to just take her around the corner. And she gets in the back seat. So, looks like a ride share to me. Now, at this point in the episode, we're switching over to Zach. So Zach is sitting on Deja's couch, while Deja is also sitting on the couch wrapped in a towel. Should not have been, but he was. As always, Deja is coming on to him. Not only is she trying to pull all the stops to get Zach to sleep with her, she even in there talking BS about Fatima. Deja is telling Zach how Fatima is only with him for his money and or just the sex. And I was saying to myself, watching that play out, I was saying to myself, only if Deja knew that Fatima was with Zach while he was riding on the bike, a 10-speed bike. Stop it. Zach told her that she was wrong, basically told her that Fatima was with him when he didn't have any money. Deja is not listening to anything he's saying, because then she says something, well, how about you tell her that you going broke and see what she says and see what she does. What she gonna do is stick beside him and help him get it back, if not more. She must not know who Fatima be. She must not know. Zach told her, stop telling me that she's gonna play me and why you want me to play these games. And my response to Zach was, why are you giving her the opportunity? Why? Why are you giving her the opportunity to say these things? Why are you giving her the opportunity to even have a conversation, period? Like, time and time and time and time and time again. Why are you giving her that opportunity? She can't talk to herself. If you wasn't sitting there on that couch, this conversation wouldn't have been had. Why are you giving her that opportunity? Case in point, you sitting there having a conversation with her when you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be at all. So Zach attempts to leave. It's no attempt. He do leave. He gets up, and Deja touches his arm or something like that, I think. So he tell her to stop touching him because he really is trying his hardest not to, for PG version, he is really trying his hardest not to sleep with her. Let's stop there. Like I said, he do leave Deja's place. But let's talk about that and just talk about, Zach coming over to Deja's house for like the 3rd time in one night. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. And as always, please let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. The last few episodes, I've been trying to be understanding with Zach. I'm trying to give Zach grace. I'm trying to be patient with Zach because all of this is new to him. I think I've had it up to here with Deja and his antics and all of that. You know, just overall, I've had it up to here with the Deja situation. One, there was no reason for you to go over to Deja's house to turn the music down, to turn the water off, to walk her from her car into her house and leave Fatima mama standing outside. There was no need for you to sit on the couch and have a full-blown conversation with her. There was no need for that at all. None of that was needed. It really wasn't. To me, it was completely unnecessary. And you tell her that you're trying your hardest not to have sex with her? Your hardest. You are trying your hardest not to have sex with her. Come on, Zach. Zach continued to put himself in stupid situation where he have to eventually explain himself. He just keeps putting himself in compromising positions. So, and before I continue on, one thing I want to mention is that you telling Deja that you're trying your hardest, that let Deja know. Yeah, you telling her to stop and this and that and the third you took up for Fatima in the relationship, cool. But to Deja, you telling her that just means she just need to come harder and she just need to continue to keep coming at you, because eventually she's going to wear you out. That's pretty much what you just gave her. So if she's keep trying and she keep at it, eventually you're going to cave in. That is just not something I would have told Deja. Honest, cool. That shouldn't have been something that came out his mouth and told Deja that. When she's already coming at you the way that she's coming at you. I'm sorry. That just, that wouldn't have been something that I let come out my mouth. Some might want to applaud Zach for, you know, leaving and not sleeping with Deja. Some might want to say that they proud of Zach, you know, and some might even be proud of him, you know, because he was honest about it. I'm none of that. I'm not applauding Zach for leaving. I'm not proud of Zach for leaving. I'm not, you know, giving him ice cream and cookies and all of that because he left. I'm not none of that. I'm sorry. That's just not my opinion right now from this episode. No, I'm not applauding or giving him credit for leaving. For a man who chased and begged this woman to not only be with him, to move in with him, not to mention he asked her to marry him. I'm not giving him, you know, a pat on the back for doing something that he should do anyway. So some say he was honest. Okay, cool. And that's cute. I respect the honesty. But what he was being honest about is the problem. If the roles were reversed, Zach will be pissed off. Terribly pissed off. He got mad and on headbutted somebody in the elevator, overreacted twice because Paul won Fatima. So if the roles were reversed, Zach. So sometimes I need Zach to think, if the roles were reversed, how would he feel? If he stopped to think about that in the moment of certain situation, I promise, it will help him to make better decisions. If Zach don't tighten up, he's going to fall right into Deja's trap. Moving on, Fatima get out of Sean's car. Again, she's in the back seat and very well could have been a ride share. Notating that. So she walks up and sees Zach coming out of Deja's place. Again, not only is he just coming out of Deja's place, but he is hard as a rock. Again, I don't think Zach should be getting hard for Connie and Deja so easily like he has been. And granted, you know, he's a man. Cool, I get that. I understand that. I do. How do he think that makes Fatima feel? How is she supposed to feel special if these other women can get you like that? Like that. Like I said, I get it. He's a man. I get it. And sometimes they really just don't have control over it. I get that. But that's definitely something Zach gonna need to get in control. He's definitely gonna have to control that a little bit. Because if he don't, it's gonna be harder for him to think with the right head. If you know what I mean. You know, so they went in the house, and the way Fatima went in the house, and you didn't hear the door slam, but you saw like the force of her closing that door. Boy, I thought she was about to go off on Zach. I really did think she was about to go off on Zach, but she didn't. Zach is in the bed. Fatima come and get in the bed, you know, with her muumuu on and her bonnet on. And Zach looked at her and was like, what you got on? And Fatima tell him that, you know, this was in the care package that her mama brought her. Fatima's mother was right, though. She told her there was a care package for a single woman. Zach told her to take that outfit back to the 80s. I thought she looked good in the moo-moo. I don't know. Maybe it was just me. I thought that she looked cute in the moo-moo. Okay, let's get into the seriousness of this moment and the argument that they had. Zach told Fatima that, he knows she don't believe he did anything with Deja, because if she did believe it, he'd be shooting up the place. And I see Zach's point. Normally, that would have been her reaction. But, she didn't react that way this time. And it could be, she's fed up. It could be because, she's about to be at her limit. Y'all remember in Sisters season 5, she told Zach that she was nowhere near close to her limit. Maybe she is now. But some women, when they stop fighting, they got one foot out the door. Women leave mentally first. Now, I don't think Fatima is at her limit. I don't think that she's at her limit, but I do think she's questioning everything. She's questioning herself. She's questioning her relationship. She's questioning, if she's the right woman for this and if he's the right man for her, or she's questioning everything at this point. And she told Zach that, when she started to ask herself, what is she doing? That's when she comes to her senses. Fatima tells Zach she gonna, of course, have the movers come get her things so she can go back to her place. At this point, when she says that, I don't even take her seriously. I don't take her serious when she say that. And then again, a part of me is like, maybe that's not a bad idea at this point. Maybe right now that is not a bad idea for you to go back to your condo or a townhouse or whatever it was. Maybe Fatima should go back to her place. Fatima tells Zach that he's not ready for a relationship. I don't think either one of them is ready. And watch how I flip this. I don't think either one of them is ready. But I do think Fatima is more ready than Zach. That's number one. But two, I also don't think any person will ever be 100% ready for a relationship. We're all a work in progress. We'll never stop being a work in progress because we are imperfect. But I do think that you can grow with a person while still working on you. If done right and if done in a very effective manner, you can grow with a person while still working on you. Zach tell Fatima that she can't have it both ways. And, he was referring to him being hard for Deja. And you can tell, you saw it all over Fatima's face. You can tell that she was hurt that he got hard for Deja. And then Zach responded with, he got hard for her all the time, but she didn't want it. It was too much for her. I'm sorry, but she never said that she didn't want it. She never told Zach that she didn't want it. She never said that. In all honesty, and I've said this in the previous reviews and recaps that I did, but Zach's reaction to Fatima telling him to pace himself is immature. I'm calling it what it is. It's been, literally like 2 days since the shower scene. And the fact that Zach's mind goes to that she's holding out and that he's not getting any is another reason why he should go to therapy. The comments, so some of the comments were, some people were saying that Fatima need to give him some. It's been 2 days, y'all. It's been 2 days. If we are in a committed relationship, yes, I can have it both ways. Yes, I can. I'm sorry. When it comes to that regard, yes, I can have it both ways. Fatima brought up, she tried to bring it up. Zach pretty much stopped her before she can really get all of her thoughts out. She was just trying to tell him that pretty much ever since he went to see his mother, he has been angry. We know that. And I think that is part of the reason why we are still somewhat still trying to be understanding and give him grace and all that, because we know he has some trauma that he's dealing with or not dealing with, however you want to look at it. He wasn't receptive of that information right now, and he basically pretty much blamed her for saying, well, you told me to go see my mother. And I was like, well, technically Jeremiah told you first, and you told Jeremiah that you was going to go see her. And I guess you got the final push from Fatima to go see her. But technically, Jeremiah told you first. I think I pretty much talked about the main points of that argument. But, all in all, Fatima left. Now, I feel like, I just been coming at Zach a little hard this episode. And it's just, at the end of the day, that's just my opinion and my perspective. I'm going to switch to Fatima for a second. And I want to say this about Fatima, because it takes two for a relationship to work. Now, although I believe in the person calming down and, collecting their thoughts when they're in the heat of a moment, and just taking some time to cool off. You know, I wholeheartedly believe in that. But I think Fatima definitely has to stop saying that she's leaving and she's going back to her place. I don't think that's good for Zach's trauma. So Fatima leave and, you know, she goes to Angela and she walks in on Angela riding Sean. Angela is riding Sean. And I had already knew that's who it was because even in the car before Fatima made Angela get out, she told him to just go drop her off pretty much and come back. So I had already knew that it was going to be Sean. Fatima did all that looking out for Angela, and her man is mad at her for getting out this man's car, and Angela still ended up with Sean being in her place. Even through all that, all in all, I still stand behind that Fatima did the right thing by getting in that car with Angela. And Nathan is staying on Tony's couch or whatever. So they having a conversation, they are chopping it up or whatever about, you know, about him and Lori and how eventually Lori is going to call him and he's going to go back home. But Nathan is on a dating profile. Yep, he's on a dating profile after saying that pretty much he wanted to work things out with his wife. Whatever. Nathan is on a dating profile and he sees Fatima profile pop up. So because he's still mad at Fatima for this Lori situation, he is trying to find any and everything, which way, however you want to put it, to find something that puts Fatima in a bad light. The profile is on his phone or whatever. He sends the profile to Zach. And apparently this dating app can track your location or something like that. That's scary. Let me know down below in the comments what y'all think about this. But how many people actually go and delete their dating profile? If you've been single for a while, you got a dating profile on some app or whatever the case may be, and you know, you at some point get in a relationship. Once you make that relationship official, do you go and delete your dating profile? I know that's not something that I would be thinking about to do, especially if I wasn't like very much active on this dating app. If I popped in here every so often, that is not on my mind to go and delete a dating profile. And honestly, by the time you get in a relationship, you honestly forget that you even had a dating profile. So Nathan can miss me with that Fatima profile jump. Somebody's catfishing him, or that's an old profile from back in the day. Nathan needs to grow up. How are you keep trying to comfort her because of something that is your fault? Take accountability for that. Take some ownership in that. That was your fault. You know, Fatima run the idea by Angela of her calling Dr. Reed to get, you know, them some help or to get Zach some therapy. You know, Dr. Reed is the therapist that, you know, Paul told her about. And Angela said basically what we all know, including Fatima, should know herself, that this is not going to end good for her. It's not a good idea. Simply based off the fact that who gave it to you, number one. She told Angela that right now, you know, things are on the rock. And I think that she is pretty much willing to deal with the repercussions and whatever consequences come with her, you know, going to talk to Dr. Reed and trying to get him to talk to Zach. While Fatima was on the phone with Angela, you know, she heard Zach moaning. So she got off the phone with Angela, ran up the steps because she thought Zach was up there having sex with another woman. But in all, you know, he was having sex with the side chick. And the way Zach grabbed the pillow to hide himself, and I was like, Zach, she done saw you naked so many times at this point. Matter of fact, at the rate that you like to go 4 to 6 times a day, she done saw you naked. What is you grabbing that pillow and hiding that for? What is you grabbing that pillow to hide for? I get it. You know, you a little embarrassed because you told her you weren't using it, but now you up here using it. At the start of the episode, you know, it was disappointment after disappointment, you know, from Zach. But by the end of it, I had forgot all about it from just that moment there. From the moment when Fatima ran up them steps and when she called him, I had forgot all about his shenanigans that happened early in the episode. So I ended it off with a good laugh. But that's my review and my recap. You know, I think this video is going to be long. So, you know, I'm not going to give you no long outro. Just make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you come back to listen to my review and recap of episode 7.